Hi guys, welcome to Major Automations, where we try to help use AI to grow your business. My name is Jordan. I work with my partner Liz, and we're really excited to bring you this video today. Today we're focused on email automations, building an AI automation to write us emails that will convert, not just ones that will save us time, but that will actually help us convert. We're going to start off with going into Make. So this is Make. For those of you who don't know, it's an automation tool, a no-code automation tool, extremely powerful. And I'm gonna show you how to use it today to build an incredible automation. So for this particular one, there's a couple of ways it can end and it can start. It's up to you, your preference. I'm gonna be using Google Sheets today, but you can use Airtable, you can use Excel, you can use pretty much anywhere that a list is gonna live, you can use. So we're gonna be building that. And then basically what we're gonna do first is we wanna learn more about our customers. So we're going to be using the URL that's going to be within our list and make sure it's the full URL, not the domain. It can't just be Pepsi.com. It needs to be HTTP, all the good stuff. So then we're going to go and we're going to pull all of the HTML using the HTTP module here. Then we're going to use the text parser to convert that into good old-fashioned English so that we and our LLMs can read it. Then we're going to use the website summarizer. So what this is going to do is going to give us a comprehensive summary of that website directly from the text parser. And next, we're going to use our SDR researcher here, who's going to use the URL to then research the web in Perplexity, which is one of my favorites. And we're going to create a 10 basically facts about this particular business that we can then use to write interesting emails. Next, we're going to use Claude, which is from Anthropic, incredible writer. I think it's probably the best writing tool out there right now as far as writing things that are interesting. We use them to write in this case, I'm using a problem agitate solution framework. But if you join our school, there's gonna be 4 different frameworks, email frameworks in there for you to choose from. And you'll also be able to just simply upload these. So this is our email writer. In this particular one, I'm using a problem agitate solution framework, but in our school community, you will be able to get access to 4 different frameworks that I use that I feel are the best converting frameworks. The next one here is the subject writer. So one that's just going to be a very punchy, interesting subject line. Basically, we're trying to get people to click, right? And then finally, for this particular one, I'm putting it back into Google Sheets so that I can export as a CSV and dump it into Instantly.ai or Outreach or whatever prospecting tool you're using, whatever email automation tool you're using. And you can use custom 1, custom 2, whatever it might be. I'm dumping into Google Sheets. It can be Airtable, whatever it is, or you can even have it go directly out from Gmail. I'll show you how to do that at the end. So if you join our school community, you're going to get access to all of the files that we talked about in here. So you can just simply copy and paste, and you'll be able to go ahead and import any of the blueprints super quickly. So you'll just be able to click, choose upload, and then boom, you'll have the entire framework built out for you. Super, you can just go through and set everything up. But for this particular one, I'm going to show you how to set everything up from the very beginning. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a list. So I went ahead and I created an outbound list here. So because I'm not copying and pasting or importing from a list builder, likely I'd use something like Seamless or ZoomInfo or Apollo and just import this. So all of these would already exist in here. But since I'm building this custom, I went ahead and put in first name, URL, email, and then email output here. So with that, all we know right now is that we need to make sure we have our URL, the full URL, like I said, and then first name and last name. And that's really it. Obviously the email so we can send it. Everything else is to you as far as you want to find. If you want to add additional context, you can add all of that. But for this, we're going to keep it pretty simple and pretty straightforward. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to connect our Google Sheets, and then we're going to do watch new rows. So this is going to be anytime that you create a new row, let's say add more to your list, it will go ahead and activate. So we're going to make sure we're connected. In this case, I am. So Google connection, boom. Search by path, should already be set up, my drive, and then spreadsheet. You might have to log into Google here. It's very simple. So email outbound list. And then it'll ask you the sheet name and all that good stuff. So just go ahead and make sure that's all connected. You will have headers. That's so that you can connect. So yes, and the header is line 1, basically. If you have multiple headers, I'm not sure what your scenario would be, but go ahead and do that. And then limit. So here, this really depends again on your use case. If you want to send 1 or 2 emails every 15 minutes, maybe you're sending directly to Gmail, maybe put this at 2 every 15 minutes, or maybe you want to just write emails for 1,000 or 500 or 50 or 60. So I'm going to put in 1,000 because that's my use case, and I'm not going to have this run automatically. I'm going to run it myself. So you can have this set up once a day if you want. It's no biggie. Depends really, again, your use case and how often you want to do it. So for one of my use cases, I put 1,000 and then I have it run once a day so that anytime an SDR uploads a list, the next morning they have everything written for them. And you can ignore this for now, unless there's a specific place you want it to start. So click resolve. That's because it was already a created list with rows already, so it's asking where to start, but that's okay. We're going to move forward. Yours won't have that issue. All right. So next thing we need is the HTTP factor here. We want to get files from a given URL. We're going to go ahead and pull that straight from our list. Boom, URL, done. All right, remember, once again, HTTP. All right, so that gives us everything in HTML. Now we need to turn it into English. So the text parser is the first thing you need. You can type it down here if you can't find it, text parser, and then HTML to text. All right, so we connect that. And then we need the output from the HTTP module here. And that's going to go ahead and convert that into good old-fashioned English. So I'm going to align so we can see everything. So far we have where we're going to put our data and some data in there, so we'll run that. Next, we have our HTTP. So that's going to convert the HTML. That's going to pull data from the website so that we can search it, and then text, so it's good old-fashioned English. And this can't be the last one. And remember, always save. Just in case something happens, save, it's okay. Continually save, trust me. I've had to redo these 4 or 5 times sometimes from me not saving. All right, so now we get into the interesting bits. So first thing we want a summary of our website. So we're gonna use OpenAI for this. You can also use other ones if you like, other LLMs, and we're gonna go ahead and create a completion. So create a completion from GPT models. You can go ahead and choose your model. I'm going to use 4.0. I think it's the best, but you can use whatever you'd like. We're going to add a message, and our role is user. Okay? So now the message that we need is here. So this is our website summarizer. So you're going to be provided a copy of a website. Your task is to carefully read and comprehend the content of the website. After analyzing the text, generate a concise summary of the key points and main ideas discussed in the website. Summary should be informative, helpful, and to the point. Maximum length of 250 words. You can also go longer than that if you'd like. I found 250 works. Between 250 and 350 tends to work best for me, but feel free to experiment there. When creating the summary, focus on the following aspects. Identify their core message. So that's obviously important. You want to know what their website's about. Highlight the most important facts, statistics, and examples. That's because we're going to try to pull some of those potentially into our email. And if applicable, briefly mention any significant conclusions or recommendations made in the website. Another factor that I've added here for different technical use cases is maybe some technical language here. So if applicable, use the technical knowledge in the website to help inform your summary. So that's if it's a more technical sale. Want to really focus on some of the technical knowledge. In this particular case, I'm not going to use that, but this is where you're going to add any aspects that you feel you need to help identify better. So this is just what I found, and you can see these are all what I've learned over time. Avoid using unnecessary fluff, filler, or phrases like this website is about. Instead, concentrate on communicating the essential information in a clear and efficient manner. So this is going to make sure it's not talking about random stuff or adding a lot of this fluff here. All right, so to ensure your summary is effective, follow the following tips. Use concise language to convey the key ideas. Prioritize information based on its relevance to the main message. Ensure that the summary can be easily understood by someone who hasn't seen the website. And read through your summary for clarity, coherence, and adherence to the 250-word limit. So this is reiterating the word limit, make that it reads its own summary. And remember, your goal is to provide a comprehensive yet succinct overview of the website's content, enabling readers to quickly grasp the core message and main takeaways. Do not repeat the title. Then create 5 core features in bullets with emojis like this. And, fun, just adds a little something. Allows you to really focus there. And then the website copy. So that's going to be what you'll see in Make. We'll use that. Okay. You just copy and paste this into our Helio here, into our module. All right. So you'll see this is nice and formatted. If you're copy and pasting from our documents, you'll have to reformat, but that's okay. It just takes a little bit of time. All right. And then for website copy, we're going to go ahead and pull the text from the text parser. Click OK. And we need max tokens. For chat, I usually do 0, so it goes to max tokens, which I think is like 30,000. You click OK. Save. So this is where you can begin testing. My recommendation is, if you put some of the information in here, you can just copy and paste and go ahead and run it, and it will do the next bit there. So that you can go ahead and check, and then name it here. Maybe this is like summarizer, and then we throw in a nice little something. Maybe like a little piece. This is the first puzzle piece. All right, perfect. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to learn more about our potential client, their website. This is what I think is probably one of the most powerful tools is Perplexity. So we're going to go ahead and create a chat completion from Perplexity. If you haven't yet set up Perplexity, you can check out a couple of our short videos to show you how to get that set up. So messages, content. So the first thing you want to do, role user. So content. This is our SDR research analyst. So our task is to uncover that 10 fascinating facts about this business. And then you put their URL. That's why I have the data there, and I'll show you why. Deep dive into the website and explore a wide range of reliable external resources to gather the most interesting and relevant information that may be relevant to selling to them. These include competition, factors in the market that are a challenge to the business's growth, recent news, positive company news, new partnerships and/or critical hires, and others along these lines. For each fact, make sure it meets the following criteria: well-sourced, high quality, up-to-date, diverse coverage, so lots of varying aspects of the website, relevance matters, focus on what's significant, clear documentation, make sure this isn't just something that's made up, avoid redundancy, no repeating, data-driven, business relevance, make sure it's relevant to the business, and at least one thought-provoking, so one that's interesting. And then you want to present these facts in a numbered list format with each fact followed by its specific source using in citations. Always include sources as naked URLs. That's so that you go check them out yourself if you want. And let's embark on this fact-finding mission to uncover the most intriguing information aspects of industry. So whatever that industry might be. For the one we're building today, I'm going to be using a cybersecurity company that my uncle works for, just so it's nice and easy. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and paste that in here and paste. All right. So again, if you're copying and pasting from the Google Sheet, the formatting will be a little jacked up. I'm going to fix that so it's a little easier. And then make sure that all of your data is correct in here. So, well, boom. And then make sure, again, your industry here will be your industry, right? Or your niche. If you want to go a little deeper, click OK. Now we are researching. Oh, and hit save, of course. So now we have a summary, and then we want to learn a little bit more. So we're going to get 10 interesting facts about the company and the industry. So let's auto align, boom. So far we have basic data, pulling it in from the website, basically scraping the website, summarizing that scrape, and researching the website more deeply. So now we want to get to the writing aspect. So again, this one in particular, I'm going to show you the problem agitate solution framework I have, but there's 3 other frameworks on our Skool community. Go and check that out and join if you'd like. You also get access to all of these frameworks and all of these documents very quickly. Okay, this is the PAS, or Problem Agitate Solution email writer. So you'll notice some of these say CTA, that's call to action. So that's going to be what you want them to do. In this particular case, it's going to be watch a 3-minute Loom video. But the first thing we need to do is add our module. So I think the best writer in here is Claude. So we're going to go ahead and create a prompt in Claude. So 3.5 Sonnet is the most powerful. Now, I will say this, Anthropic is the most expensive out of all the LLMs we're using here. Perplexity is the cheapest. Chat is somewhere in the middle. So if you want to save some money, The Claude 3 Sonnet is also super powerful. 3.5 is just even more powerful, but both really, really good. So I'm going to use the 3, so just testing today. And then max tokens, you want to do 4,000. Claude can get a little crazy with its tokens, so we want to make sure we limit those. All right, and then we're going to click add message. So from here, we need a user. It's going to be content. The type of content is text. And then here's where we're going to put in our prompt. So our prompt is here, the PAS email writer. So you're a professional email writer, and you can also do copywriter here. I found that there's that much of a difference when changing sort of this part here, but you could do like a professional copywriter, email writer, whatever you like to test out, go ahead. You will be provided with a summary of the website with the key points as they are presented on the website. You are an expert at identifying relevant information about a prospective client and what to include to create impressions of a well-researched, punchy, and personalized outreach to leave an excellent impression. Your goal is to get the client to agree to, in this case, watching a 3-minute Loom video. Here's the instructions. So using an extract and research from the client's website, generate a personalized email to encourage them to agree to show how we could potentially help them with value prop. So this is what your value prop would be. Reply to this prompt with an email formatted in HTML. And then we provide the extract, which is the summary, and the research, which is the 10 points from Perplexity. So here is what you want the output. So the only parts of the email that you should change are where it says insert company name. Only parts of the email that you should change are where it says insert company name, problem, agitate, and solution. You will know the company's name from the website and or email. Use a natural version of the company, not including Inc. or Corp, etc. Sometimes it'll say like, Pepsi. Like, no, it's just called Pepsi. We all know that. So that's called the company natural. The problem, and this is where we're going to describe each piece. So the problem is an accurate identification of the client's pressing problems. Agitate is how you will explain the short and long-term consequences of leaving the problem unsolved. If possible, you will enumerate the consequences of not solving the problem, show how a competitor has solved the problem, identify the emotions they feel because of the problem, give an example of a company that has left the problem unsolved, choose from well-known companies. And then solution is how you will solve the problem and pull from these offerings. So this is where you will provide the offerings that you are giving to solve a particular problem. I recommend putting in as many details and as much about your offering as humanly possible here. Get detailed, the LLM about your products and services to the T. All right. And then provide a few examples of good PAS emails. So these are the ones I like a lot. You can go ahead and go online and find maybe some PAS emails you like, or maybe some ADA emails. Whichever framework you're using, go ahead and do that. And then finally, we want to make sure it's framed out. So make it sound human-like and authentic. Do not make it sound cringe or insincere. Every output must be in HTML with the following structure. So this is going to ensure that it comes out in a structured way, that it's very good and solid. So this can go directly into Gmail. It can go directly into different formats. Also copy and paste. If you're going into Reach or something like that, it will also pick up the HTML. So you should be okay there. It will pick up the framework, the formatting, because it will be directly in the sheet and the CSV that you output. Most of them are smart enough to do that. And then best. So this is where your email signature will be. I find is the best way to do an email signature if you don't have one already. And if you do have one already and you're using this in a company, go ahead and get the HTML version of your signature. But if you don't, you can go over to HubSpot, create one, then you drop the HTML code directly into GT, signature generator. You can drop the straight into ChatGPT and ask it to remove the promotional aspects. A link to that below so you can check that out. Okay, now we have our PAS email template and everything ready, and this is where you would copy your signature, by the way. You are ready to go to the next step. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this directly into our module. Copy and paste. Boom. So you might have to put some of the pieces here, but you can see, hey, I don't want it to say, hey, nothing. So we're going to do, hey, first name. Down in the bottom here, hey, first name. And then up here, we need to connect the research and the extract. So the extract is the summary, so result of the summarizer. And then the research is the choices, message, content. All right, everything's connected and we are good to go. So you can see I just pulled this again from ChatGPT basically, but yours is going to be much more detailed, much more specific about the company. And again, this is a cybersecurity offering, just a bit about them. All right, we click OK and save. Again, this is where you can start testing. You can run this once and see what it looks like. So you can see here it's doing its work. All right, so we're just going to check it out real quick, make sure everything looks good. Our content, one text. All right, let's check it out. Like cybersecurity. All right, remain secure. Consequence of business problem addressed severe. Breach in your systems. Okay, pretty solid. And again, feel free to jump in and edit this however you'd like, however you prefer to write, whatever your preferences are. All you have to do is instruct it what to do in the different areas in our prompt. So that way it will write closer to what you prefer. All right, and actually it's still running. So see operation 2, see what it pulled up. So it's pulling all of them basically. So we're going to stop it. I had it start from the beginning. All right. So next piece we need here is the subject line. So I'm also going to use Claude for this. We're going to go ahead and create a prompt. And again, it can be 3.5, 3. I'm going to use 3.5 for the subject line because I feel like that's probably the most important part, to be honest. Again, max tokens, okay. And you can honestly just copy the last one. It'll have most of the framework in here already. User, and then content is text. All right, and then the text we need. So this one is a tough one. This one is a toughie because everyone writes a little differently, and I recommend experimenting with this one the most. So this is the one I've found tends to work best. It's kind of a very detailed offering. This offering, of course, is like ChatGPT written, so it's not as clear as something else would be, but you are an email headline bot designed to get the user to click on the email. You do not create clickbait. Basically, we don't want it to lie. For context, the email bot is generating a personalized email to encourage them to say yes to insert CTA. You'll receive the content of email. Do not start your output with subject line, just provide the output. The email says where you're going to provide the email that's already been written. Here are some guidelines for creating 3 email subject lines based on information provided. Keep it short and sweet, ideally under 50 characters, aim for 5 to 6 words. And I like to add this as well, can be as short as 1 word. Now, sometimes that can work, you get some pretty interesting stuff, but again, totally up to you. Keep it eye-catching and attention-grabbing, use strong action verbs, numbers, emojis, and or interesting adjectives. Evoke curiosity, emotion, or FOMO. Tease the email's content without giving too much away. Personalize it when possible, using the recipient's name or reference to their interests or actions. Align it with your email content in your brand voice. Don't use clickbait. Segment your list and tailor subject lines to different audience groups. Use a casual conversation tone rather than being too formal or salesy. So that I always found that's important. So as I was testing these, it tends to get really salesy really fast. So I try to say as many, too salesy as many times as I can. So trigger words is basically another don't get too salesy. Ask a compelling question that encourage opens. So just giving it some options, right? Emphasize value by mentioning discounts, exclusive offers, must-see content. So this is, again, where your offerings can be super important to be super detailed. Gonna be super powerful to have more and more of your particular offer in here, right? A/B test different subject lines. Avoid using spam trigger words. Don't use all caps. Again, another spam thing. You don't want to get caught. Including timely topics and tap into current events, seasons, holidays when relevant. Experiment using different lengths, tones, and styles. So this is telling you to get creative. And then preview on mobile devices as many people check email on smartphones. So with this one, basically, this is more geared towards a larger list building, right? Saying use variety to prevent email fatigue, etc. So since we're only doing 1 or 2, you're not gonna be able to see this thing really in action. But if you did, 100, 200, you're gonna see tons of different subject lines, tons of different interesting ones. And then here are some examples of subject lines. So you can actually get more prescriptive. So if these are all these ones I really like. So I'm going to say, here are some examples of subject lines for you to follow. These are the best and closest to what I want. So that's being more prescriptive, right? You're telling it to really focus on following these, but if you want to get more creative, just make it more general. Here are some example subject lines. All right. So then you can go ahead and copy and paste this over into Claude. So now that we've copied and pasted here, you're going to need to add the email response. Boom. That's going to be here. Text response. Boom. And then all the guidelines. And again, if you're copy and pasting from the Google Doc, you're going to need to fix some of the formatting here, but it's okay. You can dive in. And when you're testing, if you see something you don't like, add it here to the guidelines. Okay. Say it comes out and it's something that for whatever reason Claude likes to do is it likes to do like line and then the colon and then semicolon even and then additional information. I don't know why it loves to do that. They basically said, hey, don't do that. Don't use this format ever. I want it to be short and sweet, right? So then we click OK and click save. Boom. All right. And let's rename these. So this is subject line. You need to make that a punch. Something needs to be punchy. Nice punch emoji. Fist. Boom. Punch emoji. Okay. This is the email writer. Let's go ahead and add an emoji. I don't know. Do right. So what we got. That. Boom. All right. Okay. And save it. Okay. So we're nearly done here. And this is where you can decide what comes next. So for me personally, I kind of want to dump this right back into my Google Sheet, right? I'm just basically enriching leads. So I'm going to go ahead, add my Google Sheet, and then we are going to update rows. So we can search here, update a row. Boom. Select by path, drive, file, and email outbound. So now it's automatically going to pull in all of the different parts of the sheet. Row number should be the row number from here. So row number, boom. So that way, as you go down the list, it will just continue to enrich. And what we want to enrich is maybe we have the subject line, so text response. Maybe make this the research, so you do choices, message, content, and H is maybe the summary, just so you have it, right? Result. So, all right, click OK. That's going to go ahead and automatically enrich these so that I can go ahead and export them into a CSV and send them. So let's go ahead and add a new line, copy and paste, and let's run it. And well, first save it, and then let's run it once and see what's up. All right, so it's doing its thing, cranking along here, going through the whole workflow here. All right, so let's see what we got here. So let's head over to our sheet, and awesome. All right, so let's see what we got. Went ahead and pulled this one. So open this up. See how it added the agitate? So we want to fix that. That'll be easy enough, but you can see the actual content here. Reliance on digital platforms, consequence of ignoring it, edge solutions. Here's how we offer. I'd love to give you a 3-minute loop video. It says schedule here. That's probably my fault from the prompting. I'll go ahead and fix that as well. You can see super solid. Now let's check out the protect your digital assets 3-minute demo inside. You can see how Claude loves doing this split. I'm a fan of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that and get back to you. Still doing it. So went ahead and fixed a bunch of those issues here. So you can see now we don't say agitate here. If that ever happens, just go in and make sure that you add it. The rules do not include these 3 things to your subject. I don't know why. Again, Anthropic loves to do that. I've even switched over to chat because I found this super frustrating, and chat seems to do better without doing that. So once you've got that to your liking, you can go ahead and just export this as a download as a CSV, and then you can upload it to whatever you'd like. And again, you can name this like 1 or custom 2 and put those directly into whatever your email platform is. And if you want to upload like the things to like say what have you, like a summary or whatever, you can go ahead and do that as well. So that's pretty simple. Just export CSV and then add it to whatever section of your Salesforce you want, and you should be good to go. Okay, if you're there, now let's talk about how to just send directly from your email. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one and start with Gmail instead. So we're going to go to Gmail, send an email, or in this particular case, we should send a draft just so that, or create a draft. just so that, test it a little bit, get to know it, and then once we're comfortable with it, we can actually have it just straight up sent. Let's go ahead and create a draft. Okay, so you already have our connection set up. Again, just go ahead and log in. We're gonna go ahead and go to the folder, do drafts. There we go. All right, add recipient. So recipient is gonna be the email from our sheet. Subject is gonna be the subject line. Content is going to be the email writer response. And then any attachments you have, go ahead and add those and click OK. Save. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's copy a different one. Let's do James Dean here from Racetrack. James Dean, boom. Copy him, boom. All right, and let's go ahead and run it. So same thing as before, except for this time we're going to create a Gmail draft. So I'll come back in just a second. All right, so now we have our exports. So let's go ahead and just take a look at it, see what's up. All right, output, yep, message ID. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and log into Gmail. All right, so it did two different ones. And again, it still has that problem there. Not sure why, but this is why we have the draft, so we can go in and check it. So boom, get rid of that, and boom. Again, me personally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna shorten these, right? Maybe I edit it myself. Maybe I probably go into the prompt and say, hey, I need this to be this number of words or this number of characters per paragraph, per area. This is really lengthy and shorter emails work better. And again, this separation here, boom, right there. Nice little shield to James Dean. And this is where your signature would go, obviously. So very solid email, ready to go out. Maybe a bit long for my taste, but that's my preference. Maybe you like long emails. I don't think it really matters all that much. And then we can go in and just hit send. We're ready to rock. So boom. And then again, for this one, random company, Amarel, boom, agitate. I don't know why it's still putting these, but I'm gonna go ahead and figure that out as well. So with that, we are good to go. All right, so I went ahead and made some edits. You can see for this one, no more problem solution, agitate going on here. We are all good to go. All right, and then also the separation here. So, all right. And then also I made a few edits and I got the subject line to look much closer to where I wanted it to be. Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in at Major. We're Major Automations. Be having my partner Liz and I are going to be making videos. She's more on the marketing side. I'm more on the sales side. Well, it's awesome to meet you all. Drop us a subscription if you want to get more content like this. And then if you want to get access to our community, we're over in Skool. You can also find the link below. That'll give you access to all of our frameworks, all of our agents, all of our documents, and a ton of sales and marketing training as well. Thanks again. Talk soon.